Teacher, what for we need all these stupid equations? Seeing this, I have zero idea how I could have surpassed this. 6x plus 9y's equals 3 times bracket 2x plus 3y's. End of the bracket. What the hell is that, man? Of course, being totally stupid and can't really count simple equations. Well, this is far from simple, but some basic knowledge of math, counting money, economics, for example, all of this is really useful. Yeah, but that right there, under the previous video about the Geek Climber, one of you viewers said that I know that calisthenics athletes are not good in basic math.
In my previous front lever videos, I wrote down the math equations to show that if you have big hypertrophied upper body muscle.
What the fuck is that, man? We have different ideas, expectations, what easy math means. When you will reach math level, when the numbers are exchanged by letters, you are done. What is that at the top right corner? C equals some weird E, C with I in the lower right corner, W again with the I, divided by again the weird E, W with I. I have zero idea what any of those letters means. But the problem with Geek Climber is that he's trying to solve ultra hardcore equations to find out the answer why he cannot front lever, when the actual equation he should care about and solve, and it's pretty simple by the way, strength plus muscles equals skills. Of course, specific training, all of that. Solving this equation will get you anywhere. As I said, he likes to talk more than X, same as me. I'm the calisthenics talker. Lawyer, calisthenics lawyer. Reaction channel. And so he's rather spending time on finding answers for why he cannot do it and explain to people rather than putting the work in, building more muscle. For example, in his case, he was rock climbing for 10 years. And 10 years of experience for him meant 300 days for one arm pull-up. Sorry. What? We don't know how he spent those 10 years. For example, he wasn't pushing himself every single workout, and so he was like stagnating on the same level and not really try to progress further. Rock climbing will make from you a total beast, man. Rock climbers can do front lever on super tiny surfaces. Like they will hang just by their middle finger and they will do full front lever. I know Geek Climber is a little bit older. By the way, I thought that he's like 40 years old or something. At least back then when he was actively trying calisthenics skills. He has, of course, apparently pretty hardcore job, IT guy or something. So that's why he know all the math. He has his own family, he has daughter, and he was approaching the calisthenics journey just like a hobby. But even if you take calisthenics as a hobby, you can still progress a lot faster. Just don't do stupid mistakes. Hazdanek, you are again hater. You are hating him. You are a filthy pig. New drop of merch, hater. He had a lot more things than, for example, a typical 15 years old guy focusing only on those skills in high school. But anyways, today I decided because of the comment under the previous video to watch a few videos of Geek Climber where he will talk about the equation. Right in the class, take your notebooks, turn on the new fresh page, if I have some. Geometry. Hell no. 3abc divided by 6a equals 1bc divided by 2.
This video is going to be pretty math heavy.
That's why we are here, man. Go give it to us.
Even though the force you can generate pound for pound from your big beautiful muscles is less than the force I can generate pound for pound.
I don't know why he's talking about bench deadlift when we are in calisthenics, but whatever. Strength to weight ratio. What are those numbers? 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, blah, blah, blah. 100, 150, 200. Those are the pounds. Okay.
Big beautiful muscles is less than the force I can generate pound for pound from my smaller lean muscles. The front lever is easier when the angle between your torso and your arms is larger. However, there are too many math deniers out there dismissing the fact that the front lever is indeed more difficult for people like me, though the equations are clearly and transparently written down.
Is that this is not simple math, man. Of course, the front lever or planchy can be even more difficult for small guys. Geek Climber don't have the big upper body, which would make the leverages a lot easier. On the other hand, it would make him heavier a lot, but being light has also a lot of disadvantages. For example, the leverages, the big upper body, you don't have it, so the leverage, fair play, fair game. Again, on the other hand, you are lighter. But I believe having a bigger upper body is a better choice.
A lot of people also want to see me wear a weight vest to simulate big hypertrophied upper body muscles.
Yeah, of course, even I back in the days thought about this. Like, it will help you a lot because you will have more mass here, and so you will... For example, that calisthenics athlete that put weight around his neck, don't try this at home by the way, like 50 kgs, and the leverages were totally messed up, like he was pulling from this angle, not here. Of course, nobody does front lever with weights around his neck. Don't do that. The main problem of this, that weight doesn't help you at all. It's just a dead weight vest. There are no muscles. You are not adding additional muscles. So the lever will be easier, but you will also gas out more quickly because you are heavier by adding weight vest, not muscles.
For most common exercises, for example, pull-ups, dips, and squats, the heavier the external weight is, the more difficult they are.
Wow! By the way, if this is GeekClimber setup at this backyard, man, I'm quite jealous. Like, this is dream. Maybe I would put there just a one really wide bar, P-bar, so I can do freestyle and analyze myself by that.
The more difficult they are. Front lever, however, could be an exception for people who are strong at natural pulling angles. When an external weight is placed on the upper body while we perform the front lever, it makes the front lever both easier and harder at the same time. I added an external weight as a variable to the equations.
What the hell is that, man? And again, GeekClimber rather spend doing this video and doing these equations, like finding out the right equations, the right thing, right letters, instead of putting on more muscle or like putting more time in training it. But maybe this took him only 5 minutes, man. He's mathematical god, man, what I'm saying.
For this plot, the x-axis is the angle between my arms and torso for the full front lever, and the y-axis is the amount of body weight I need to hold. As you can see, if it's just my body weight, the required angle will be 47.673 degrees, as I've mentioned in my previous video. However, if I wear a weight vest that is 0.2 times of my body weight, the angle required will increase to around 56 degrees. As you can see, the more weight you put on, the more diminishing returns there will be in the angle you can increase.
Okay, but for that you didn't have to do this.
Let me overlay this graph with the weight I can pull with the lat pull down machine at various angles. I can pull 0.4 times of my body weight at around 45 degrees, 0.9 times of my body weight at around 50 degrees, and 1.2 times of my body weight at around 55 degrees.
Well, it depends how long you could hold at this point at that machine, that weight. Maybe I could also hold 80 kgs back in the days for like a second, but that doesn't mean that you will be able to hold your own body because still it is exercise on a machine versus a real front lever.
As you can see, the red line is actually above the blue line in this region. So that means I should be able to do the full front lever if I put on a little less than 0.2 times of body weight through the weight vest to make the angle 55 degrees, right? Not so fast yet. The numbers I can pull on the lat pull down machine are
This reminds me every time I went to the math class and I had zero of math equipment.
Are actually an overly optimistic estimate. The front lever is actually the equivalent of pulling on the lat pull down machine and doing a dragon flag at the same time. Even though I can do the dragon flag without training for it, it is still far from being
But you are struggling.
You might argue that the muscles for doing the lat pull down and the dragon flag are different. So why is this a problem? The muscles involved for doing the lat pull down and the dragon flag are mostly different, but not completely different.
So are they different or not?
As a result, the max load of doing both at the same time will absolutely be lower than that of doing each of them individually. If you still don't believe me, you can try to test your max one-arm dumbbell row and then test your max one-arm overhead press. Now do both at the same time with each arm. And I guarantee you won't be able to do it.
Obviously, if you will put max, you can put double of your max effort into two exercises. You have to either do one at a time and then the other one, or you will need to scale down the difficulty by lifting less weight.
The best thing I can do is trial and error and figure out if there's any moment when the real red line will be above the blue line. Unfortunately, I can't find it. But I really want to show the math deniers that math is a fact that you can't deny. Therefore, I decided to plot another green line to represent the situation of the straddle front lever and did my best to estimate the extra weight that would give me a chance. And this...
Schwarzkopf Glislik Vicilk uhlasuje...
I hate you, Geek Climber! Let's see.
59 degrees with a weight vest that is almost 0.2 times of my body weight. If I take off the weight vest, I am nowhere close to doing the straddle front lever because the angle will have to be way smaller. A lot of people who haven't been able to do the front lever yet think they can skip the DEXA scan and find out their angle between the arms and torso by using a resistance band to support right underneath the bar. No, that doesn't work. The resistance band will stop you from swinging. even if your center of mass is not underneath the bar.
The problem of resistance bands is that you will never really put it exactly under your central mass because you don't know where it, you have to calculate somehow. A lot of people think that it is under your belly button and around your body, but that doesn't have to be truth all the time. So you can be doing planche with resistance bands, and it will help you actually like more because you'll put it a bit like further away from your central mass.
First, instead of putting the resistance band underneath your waist, move all the way forward. So the resistance band will become underneath your shoulders. So now we have no doubt that your center of mass is not underneath the bar. Now imagine the support from the resistance band is actually pretty strong. You know, strong enough that it feels like a ground. Can you not swing and hold this position? Of course! Because this is literally the dragon flag. If you can't do the front lever and you want to find out your required angle, don't be cheap. Go do a DEXA scan. There is no way around it.
Okay, so if you wanna know why you cannot front lever, go to DEXA scan. Okay, I know he meant like if you wanna know the exact angle you need for certain progressions, go to DEXA scan because otherwise you won't ever find out. But I will now use the Jack Vegan advice. Get stronger, bro. Like, why to spend so much of money? On average, the cost of DEXA scan ranges from $200 to $500. But Body Spec has started offering them from just $40 to $60. I'm going to DEXA scan. Oh yeah.
I also want to thank again to all the strong calisthenics athletes who reach out to me, acknowledge that the front lever is indeed more difficult for my body type, and still try their best to help me overcome this disadvantage. As for all the train hard, be strong, don't be not strong.
As I said, you are trying to learn the front lever by playing fair play. By playing fair. You are not a true calisthenics athlete, meaning you have shitten legs, and big upper body. Calisthenics skills are leverages and trying to overcome the gravity by fair play, by not having this build of your body. He had 10 years and now even more if he's still climbing. 12 years of rock climbing experience, and it wasn't still enough. You know, he's maxed out. Or maybe he didn't train enough. Maybe he would get the front lever if he would train 4 extra months, and even with this body type he would get it. We don't know how he trained it.
And not wanting to build big hypertrophy muscles is my personal choice. I don't want to mess with my diet and I still need to rock climb. Bigger upper body mass will make achieving the front lever easier, but it will make rock climbing more difficult. I have nothing against most of you who want those big beautiful muscles. But if you came and rock climbed with those big beautiful muscles and ended up struggling to hold yourself onto the wall with your fingers, how would you feel if I walk up to you and told you, just climb harder, bro?
Well, yeah, for the first time for calisthenics athletes, rock climbing will be difficult a lot. Extremely difficult. But you cannot, after the first day of rock climbing, just sit down and I cannot rock climb. You will try harder. You will have to make your body adapt to it and to get the finger strength, for example, and all of that. I don't know.
The key factor in how hard the front lever will be for you is the angle between your torso and your arms.
Also, isn't it like if you would have really long arms, then you would essentially like... It is also the same case as with the point, the heavier you are, even if all the mass will be muscle mass, then eventually every single skill will get harder. And so isn't it the same with longer arms? The longer the arms are, the more power you will lose on this really long stick, man. Again, this,
I'm sure you will find out how fast the weight you can pull will drop even with just a few degrees of reduction of the angle.
You can do this experiment also with just a dip bar. You won't know the exact weight, but you can like find out how far you can lean back.
This video is going to be pretty math heavy.
That's what we like.
When you hold the human flag position, there are 2 main physics conditions that are required.
Push and pull.
First, the upward force coming from the bar needs to be the equivalent to the body weight. Let's say you push the bar with your bottom hand with force F. Due to Newton's third law, which is the law of action and reaction.
Action and erection. Okay.
The bar will give us an opposite force with the same magnitude F. Similarly, when you pull the bar with your upper hand with force F, the bar will give us back an opposite force with the same magnitude F. Now we can simply extract the upward portion of these 2 forces from the bar by multiplying a cosine theta. The sum of these 2 needs to be the same as your body weight. This is not the only physics condition that needs to be satisfied. Otherwise, according to this equation, the smaller the theta is, the easier the human flag will be since less force will be required to be generated by the arms. However, there's a reason why we have never seen someone do something like a human flag iron cross to make theta completely 0.
No. Well, I believe the angle wasn't like perfectly zero, but maybe like a degree, 2 degrees. Jesus flag, I guess.
Condition that needs to be satisfied, which is that the net torque for both points of contact between two bodies should be equal to 0. The definition of a torque is the moment arm times the effective force. The effective force is the force perpendicular to the moment arm. You can see that both large angles and small angles will make the human flag difficult. It's the medium angle that makes the human flag the easiest, which is no surprise because everyone who can do the human flag does it with a medium angle.
So what for is all this? To me it seems like he's solving super hardcore extreme equations. 2 hours of counting. Just for finding out the obvious. GeekClimber had to be like made for human flag, because for human flag he needed only 15 days, but for something that was like not really automatic to get, I mean 1 arm pull up, and it took him 300 freaking days to learn it. Don't tell me that he got more carryover from rock climbing to human flag, which is also quite difficult skill to learn, than to 1 arm pull up.
Common sense tells me that lacking straight arm push strength.
You are telling me that this is a common sense? This is a freaking mathematical god stuff, man.
This is venturing into biomechanics territory, which I'm not an expert in, but based on my intuition and experience.
Okay, if GeekClimber is not an expert into it, we don't even have to try.
Gynoid means abs. Gynoid means hips. The legs in the report actually includes hips and legs, so we can get the real leg weight by minus the hip weight. Trunk means abs plus chest, so we can get the chest weight by trunk minus abs. The head weight will be the total weight minus everything else. Now we assume that the center of mass is in the very middle of...
Easy. I hope you get it also, same as me.
I know the weights of these body segments aren't uniformly distributed, so they aren't entirely accurate. The next thing you need to do is measure the length of each of your body segments. You can literally measure this with a ruler by yourself. You can start the math calculation. The very basic idea is that the center of mass of your different body segments is the geometric decomposition of the centroid of your entire body. Let's assume the origin is in where the head is. If we expand the summation in the numerator, we will have the length of the head divided by 2 times the weight of the head, plus the length of the head and plus the length of the chest divided by 2 times the weight of the chest. It's the same idea for the abs,
hips, and legs, so I'm not going to repeat them.
Yeah. You don't have to. What is air calls, man?
You can try to calculate yours based on your own data and find a lap pull-down machine to see how much you can...
Wait. He's pulling at 40 degrees angle. Don't tell me that this is the required angle for him to do full front lever. This can't be, man. He can't have central mass around his ding-dong, man.
But I'm juggling too many things at the same time. So I would rather understand things, train smart, pick my battle, and train effectively.
Okay. I get it. He wants to understand how he should train properly to get it. And tell me why he hasn't got it so far. Because the answer is... get big upper body. Or train 2 years and he will maybe get it. Sometimes it is better to just leave out the theory and do it practically. Okay, so this was my take on trying to understand GeekClimber's basic math equations. Very basic, man. I didn't even sweat. Give me something harder. By the way, guys, I have a huge announcement. We've got a first member ever on this channel, Daniel Lebedev. Thank you for subscribing, for becoming a member of this channel. And if you want to support me also a little bit more, you can also become a member for $1. And even the dollar will make a huge difference. We gotta use the technique Nasmnogo. And yeah, if you want to watch more of my videos, you can also check out this one, which YouTube thinks you will like also. So click on it, I will see you there. Anyways, hopefully I will see you also tomorrow. So see you tomorrow. Bye.